We built a platform that actually is the only platform that plays an automated webinar back in a software. It feels like it's real, like it's live. Because when you share your story as a community, you can have a larger impact on this world.
Hey, what's up? Anthony Morrison here, and welcome to this video. Listen, in this video, what I'm going to do is show you a quick demo inside of WebinarFuel and how you can use our split testing or multiple thank you page automations. And let me give you some background on why this makes sense. If you're running your automated webinars, there are a lot of times where our schedule kind of dictates the messaging that we want to have on our thank you page. Let me give you an example. If you're using our just-in-time feature, meaning somebody's registering for an event that's happening within 15, 30 minutes, maybe even an hour, right? Then the messaging on your thank you page, you always want that messaging to say, go to the webinar, go to the webinar, go to the webinar, right? Because, I mean, the reality is you've got a bunch of people you're bringing to this page. Your goal is to get them on your webinar, right? But there's also a lot of times where we do an event, and maybe that event is once a week, twice a week, once a day, and people are registering, but there's many hours before the webinar actually starts. Well, if there's a lot of hours before the webinar starts, the messaging on the thank you page needs to be a little different. It doesn't need to be hurry up, click the link, hurry up, you know what I mean? Because you've got 4 or 5 hours or 6 hours or 2 days before the event starts. The second thing is that you're missing an opportunity to generate revenue on your thank you page. You know, in all the other software, you're stuck with one thank you page that says, hurry up, get on the webinar, right? You can't really change that for somebody who might register and the event that they're going to attend is not for 3 days or for 6 hours, right? It's a one thank you page for everybody type situation. With our automations, you can actually go in and change what thank you page people see based on how long there is before the event that they registered for starts. That way, if you have somebody that's registered for an event that's 3 days out, you could sell a copy of your book, you could sell any of your courses, your software. You could even, give them a longer video introduction of you and who you are. Like, you can change what happens on that thank you page, and ultimately you can turn your thank you page into a revenue center. So let me show you how this is done. So this is the inside of the WebinarFuel software. What we typically do, and you'll notice where it says registration and thank you page URL, you would go in here and you would put in your registration page and your thank you page link, okay? So this is the default settings that everybody that, that goes through your registration process would land on that thank you page, okay? Typically, you'll build out your thank you page. This is one that we've built out. Let me just show you. I've got 2 of them here. This is one that we've built out right here. This is just a basic thank you page, right? It has our thank you page widget on it. You'll see if you have people that download the software, if you're pushing people to download the software, we give you this image so they can download the software, similar to Zoom. Again, remember, you can also do browser versions of your playback, so there's multiple options for you. But you can see that this webinar or this thank you page is very short, to the point. This video is basically saying get on the webinar, download the software, and get over here and join, right? So that's your basic thank you page. Now, what I've done is I've built a secondary thank you page. You'll notice it looks the same, but notice down here, there's a special invitation to a newsletter that we created. Now, obviously, I've taken this video out for template purposes. There's just a basic ClickFunnels thing here, but you'll notice that essentially what I've done is I've added an opportunity for me to sell something here on my thank you page. This is a little $7 or $9 a month newsletter that we produce that we feel like is a great fit for the people that come into, to our ecosystem. Now, in this video, okay, it's obviously quit playing here, but if I were to click and have it play again, you'd see me talking. In this video, I talk about how this is a page that you want to bookmark, to attend your event, whenever that event may be, and that since you have some time, check out the video invitation below to our newsletter. Okay, so I have 2 different thank you pages. They look the same. One just has an opportunity for me to generate some revenue on it. So here's what I do inside of WebinarFuel to make this work. I go in here to these things called automations, okay? And I have a bunch of automations built out in here right now, but what I'm going to do is just add a new one to show you how this works. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in. It's going to make it look a little wonky on your screen, but you'll see it here. So what I do is I say, look, 0 minutes after someone registers, I want to add a condition, and I want to add this condition called time. And if the time before the session starts, okay, in my case, I might say is greater than 3 hours. So if there's more than 3 hours, okay, before the session actually starts for that person, I'm going to set an action, okay, and I'm going to say set thank you page URL. All right, you'll see it gives me a box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. This is my thank you page where I'm able to sell something. I'm just going to copy that URL, and I'm going to put it in this box. And then I'm going to save this automation and turn it on. Now, what that means is that when somebody comes through the funnel and they register for my webinar, if there are more than 3 hours, okay, before the webinar for them starts, whatever session they registered for, they will see this thank you page, which gives me an opportunity and enough time, okay, before the session starts to be able to sell access to my newsletter. If the time before their session starts is less than 3 hours, they will see this default thank you page, right? So this thank you page URL, obviously, I would copy this one and I would have it placed not in automations, okay, but in my regular thank you page URL link, which would be right here, okay? So this is something we use for demonstration purposes, so I don't save these things, but you'll notice that I can put this in here. That's my default one, okay? And now by default, when somebody comes to and registers for my webinar, they're going to see this page. Unless there's more than 3 hours before the session starts, then they will see this page. Now, what's great about this is it's simple, it's one click. You see how simple that was. Now you can define what people see. Look, as I've told you many, many times, if you watch all the videos here on the channel about WebinarFuel, you'll notice that the overall theme is that we're constantly trying to pull profit levers, little levers that we can make, little optimizations that help us bridge the gap between a live webinar and automated webinars. It's no secret that automated webinars have always converted at a crummy rate, right? It's not a great conversion rate for you. And it doesn't really matter what type of business you're in, whether you're selling courses, software, consulting, coaching, or maybe, like I said, you're a doctor, a lawyer, a real estate company, and you're just looking to generate leads, right? Automated webinars, the experience that people have is typically so much less than a live webinar that it's hard to get those conversion rates at a level that makes sense for you to do it. That's why we built WebinarFuel, because WebinarFuel allows you to pull these optimization levers with a couple of clicks that nobody else allows you to pull. And that's the reason why I built it. From somebody who's done a lot of revenue, made a lot of sales in an automated webinar fashion, we knew that if we built this software, really for me, that it was going to increase my revenue dramatically in our business, right? And that's how WebinarFuel was really formed. And then it became something where we offered this opportunity to utilize our platform to other people, because we saw how much it helped us internally, and we realized how much it can help other people. This is just one of those ways. If you've got a webinar and you're not monetizing that thank you page, you're missing out on not just a lot of money that you could make selling something on the thank you page, but think about the journey that people take to your webinar. If somebody registers for your webinar, let's say on Monday, but the webinar is not till Wednesday, right? Then it doesn't make any sense for you to be telling them, hurry up, get on the video, click on the webinar and all that stuff. What you might want to do in that case is send them to a series of videos every day, right? So give them a link that says, hey, look, go watch this video. This is video 1. And after you watch video 1, you'll see video 2. In other words, some videos that would happen and trigger between the day they registered and the day that their event actually happens, right? You can do that inside WebinarFuel because we know how long and how far away an event is for those people. Whereas if they registered the day before the event, you wouldn't send that same type of sequence. If they registered at 30 minutes before the event, your goal is get them on the webinar, right? That's what this automation is an exclusive automation to WebinarFuel. It is an automation that is designed to help you get more people in your webinars and generate revenue, right, on your thank you page. This is something that we absolutely love, and we hope you'll love it too. If you're not using WebinarFuel for your automated webinars, I'm just telling you right now, you're missing out, because we have features that nobody else has, right? There's a link in the description below. You can click that link to get started. Start your account with WebinarFuel, get your first webinar in here, see all of these automations and features and things that we've put in here that truly help you take your automated webinars to the next level, right? If you're looking to get the conversion rates that you need to succeed, especially with paid media, WebinarFuel gives you all those little profit levers to pull to help you get there, right? So click the link below, check out WebinarFuel, and I look forward to helping you with more automations, exclusive features, and new features of WebinarFuel right here on our channel.